everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage. If you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account, it is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage. If you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account, it is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage. If you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account, it is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage. If you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account, it is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage. If you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account, it is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. enter your PIN, and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage if you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account. It is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage if you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account. It is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage if you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account. It is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage if you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account. It is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage if you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account. It is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage if you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account. It is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage. If you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account, it is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage. If you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account, it is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet. Enter your PIN and complete transaction.
UBA, Africa's global bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook and on iMessage. If you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account, it is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet.
Good afternoon and welcome to UBA Ghana Limited. Welcome to our webinar. Today is International Women's Day, and UBA Ghana is not left out. We are celebrating. It is a day that is set aside to acknowledge the struggles and challenges of women, but more importantly, to celebrate women and their achievements. Welcome once again. Now, today being so special, I'm not here alone. We're here to have a discussion that will aid us. Our theme is embracing equity. For us to discuss this, we have two really wonderful and amazing woman beings in our midst. Yes. I'll start with my lady here. This is Mrs. Jibwedi Dusu. Please pardon me if I crucify your name, but please correct
you've done
me.
very well.
And she's a wonderful teacher. I've been following her teachings. She's a businesswoman. I mean, she's a known face. She's a speaker and a consultant, and she owns her own talk show called The Jibwedi Show, which airs in 46 countries in Africa.
Oh, fantastic.
Good.
It's good to know.
UK and then Europe. She is the co-creator for the African Skin and Body Care Aromatic Therapy. I remember those days when spa was not such a thing. Everybody remembers Alior?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, and called spa line product called Kanchi. She is the founder and executive officer of Alior Africa, a brand she has successfully marketed in Ghana and beyond. She obtained a bachelor's degree in finance and accounting from Virginia. Please, bankers, she's not that far from us, so okay. Virginia State University, and attended Harvard University. She's recognized as an authority in coaching, facilitation, speaking, and consulting space. Now, this doesn't go down like that. There are awards. 2009 Marketing Woman of the Year. Please, can I have some? And please, our audience on our YouTube and our Facebook, please just log on. It's live streaming. Just type UBA Ghana on YouTube or Facebook and follow us. Share as many times as you can. And our WhatsApp platforms too. Please be posting your comments there and your questions. We'll be taking them along as we go. I'm still introducing her. In 2017, Inspiration Award, Hearts of Beauty and Innovation. I mean, looking at her, you can't, and then this is French. I'll have to move on ahead. In 2019, nominated for Women's Choice Awards Africa, the Boss Lady of the Year. I want to repeat that one. The Boss Lady of the Year category. In 2022, Female Most Exceptional Change Maker, Global Humanitarian Awards. And again in 2022, Pan-African Personal Impact Influencer of the Year, Pulse Africa. Please, a round of applause for Mrs. Jigodi Yusuf. Okay, now, I like to have more of everything. So I'm not here, she's not here alone with me. I have also a Ghanaian. If you're looking for governance, you're looking for spirituality, you're looking for leadership, don't go too far. She's a Ghanaian, a former politician, a business executive, and a minister. Mrs. Reverend Dr. Joyce Rosalind Ayi is recognized for having served Ghana for, I want to pause on it, for 4 decades. 4 decades, 40 years, and counting. She hasn't stopped. Okay. Now, in both private and public sectors, from 2001 to 2011, she served as the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines and was the first woman in Africa to have held that role. And we all know that it's been amazing. At least we weren't hearing Galamsey then. Okay. She has also held political roles in Ghana from the early years of PNDC government from 1982 to 1985. I know a number of us on the platforms were not in this world. And some of us who were here were still saying Dada, Mama, and Papa, or something like that. Was appointed from 1982 to 1985. Madame Joyce Ayi was appointed as ex-president of Ghana, Jerry John Rawlings, by ex-president of Ghana, Jerry John Rawlings, as the Secretary of Information for the PNDC. From 85 to 87, she was the Minister of Education. In 87, 88, Minister of Local Government. 88 to 2001, she was the Minister for Democracy. 88 to 91, Minister for Democracy in the Office of the Prime Minister.
This is from Wikipedia or something like that. It's all mixed up.
Okay.
Very mixed up. Next time, please ask me and I'll give you a profile.
Thank you. Yeah. She is the founder and currently Executive Director of Salt and Light Ministries, para-church organization. She also runs the Joyce Ayi Consult, which focuses in areas of management and communications. She serves as a board member on several boards, such as the Kinross Sharanum Gold Mine, of course, with a background, Ghana Board, the Mentoring Women Ghana Board, and the Roman Ridge School Academic Board. Dr. Joyce Ayi is also the first patron extraordinaire of You Lionesses. Please, thank you for doing me the honors, ladies.
Hello.
You see how I'm doing?
Oh, yes.
Yes. I'm actually tapping into the blessings of being here. So, today being a day set aside, like I said, to acknowledge, more importantly, the roles and the achievements of women. There are a number of questions that some of our colleagues have also forwarded to us. So I'm going to start with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Reverend Dr. Joyce Ayi.
Auntie Joyce, it's
Auntie
fine.
Joyce.
Yes. Feel that I'm your relative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll do just that, Auntie Joyce. Anyway, it actually feels good rolling off the tongue,
yes.
Auntie Joyce. Auntie Joyce, so what's your take on this year's International WA Day theme, Embracing Equity?
When we talk of International Women's Day, I get a bit amused, and I'm wondering why the UN is now recognizing that we women have always been around and always done great things. You know, it may. I do admit that we're still struggling to have the full recognition that we deserve. So, as for equity, it's a given. It's a given. A given in the sense that how can life be without men and women? And how can life be without our being equal but different? So embracing equity really means let's recognize our equality and yet our uniqueness by being different. So I think it's a wonderful theme. And I'd like us women to take it even a notch higher. You see, we need to be confident in who we are. Yes, the world may be saying we are not there, but we know we are there. We know we are achievers. We know, after all, the fact that everybody has come from a woman is a great achievement. Great achievement. And it's something we just cannot toy with. So let's embrace it. It is ours. We are equal, but unique and different. Equal.
Amazing. Thank you. And I want to just reiterate that we are equal, yet we are unique and different.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So I was just chatting with Auntie Joyce a few minutes ago. She's my darling mom. And I was saying that I just have to say this, that when we talk about women, we talk about women from a place of strength all the time. And that is the only way to talk about women. That is the only way to describe a woman at any given time, from a place of strength.
Yes.
And traditionally or culturally or in any shape or form, I was just telling her, I wasn't even supposed to be on this platform. Just a few days ago, the womb from which I came from was called home and to be with the Lord. But the strength, I mean, I can imagine that I am here because this is where she would want me to be.
Yes. Exactly.
But here,
yes,
in a place of service.
Yes. Yes.
That is the reason why I chose to be here. That's because normally the first thing I would say is, oh, no, I can't do it. But then strength is what gives you strength.
Yes.
That for me already is equity.
Yes.
Secondly, just to buttress what Auntie Joyce has said, one of the things we have to remember is that when we talk about women, it's across all. So whether you are an educated woman, whether you are an experienced woman, whether you are just simply an empowered woman, two wombs that I came from, my grandmother was a semi-literate, but she built what many people could not even call. She was one of the best entrepreneurs I ever knew. She trained me, she raised me, and this is what I have become. And she also trained and raised my mother, and this is who she became, and this is who I am coming from. So 3 generations. So it doesn't matter your vocation, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter what it is. What you have to recognize is that you have that authority to serve. And for me, that's what makes equity equity. So I've always embraced it, and I always tell other women, embrace it, keep embracing it. So it's just buttressing what she has said. It's always been there.
It's been there.
It is something we just need to sort of just continue to recognize. But it's always been there.
And this is just 5 minutes into it. Well, when I was introducing you, there was a line I wanted to add to your introduction, and it escaped me, and you touched on it. A word that I wanted to use for you, resilience.
Yes, yes.
Because ordinarily you wouldn't be here. And I am tapping so much into your strength because I also just returned from the hospital.
Oh.
Same. So I think, just as you said, that is what makes us women. Even in pain, we smile. Not because we are in pain, but because we know that is what we have to go through. That is what we have to do to get things going.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love the wisdom that we are sharing here. I'll come back to you, Auntie Joyce. Do you think there is a continuous impact with this celebration each year? It's as if every year we just get up, International Women's Day, it's 8th of March, we take pictures, we do poses. Does it have any impact? Is it changing anything?
Oh, I would say that there's a lot of change that is going on. Not necessarily because of International Women's Day, but it does make a difference also. It's because at the UN level, a lot of, let's say, decisions get taken. Countries are helped to understand certain things. A lot of times, the UN takes a decision to ban maybe some activity against women, which is not good. So that in itself is okay. But the fact that there is a recognition is something that we shouldn't throw away. That is not what we need to define who we are, but it does help as we go along, you know. I mean, some people are now coming up, some young people, and really the day is good for men, for the men to recognize actually that what they've been experiencing all along, of having women alongside them at home, in the place of worship, in the office, sitting in, I hear it's called Troitsky, no longer Trotro, Troitsky, and so on. You know, I mean, life has always had men and women, but that the men would also know that, you know, we can't do anything without the women being beside us. It's true, we can't do anything. The men cannot do anything without the women being beside them. That is a recognition that I think is even more important for men on 8th of March than for us who know who we are and know where we're going, even though the journey is slow. We do know where we're going. We know we will get there. The journey is slow, it is arduous, it is difficult, but we're resilient, remember.
Yes,
We're strong, remember.
Yes.
We smile through our pain, remember.
Yeah.
So we will get there. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Back to
So
you.
so I keep saying I have to keep adding on to Auntie Joyce because she's so much on the right path. And what I want to add to that is the next step of that is really what women do to support other women.
Yes.
And like he says, the men must first know that the women are standing beside them. So it's one recognition. But one key progress that I see being made is that adage of women are their own enemies and so on is going away.
Yes.
That is progress for me. And bringing up the young people, you know, I think going forward, one of the things we should sort of start doing, sort of aggregate the impact and the numbers of women that see other women. Because for me, every single year, every single day, every single month, somebody says, oh, I look at you and I've been able to do this.
Yes.
I look at Auntie Joyce and I've been able to set up this.
Yes.
I can do this because I saw you.
Yes.
I saw you do it. I saw others do it. And it's happening in the workplace. It's happening in the business place.
Yes.
It's happening in the markets. So that's one significant impact. That is progress. The second thing is, look at the number of women who are now in non-traditional industries. I'm talking about women mechanics. I'm talking about, the STEM area, for example, has taken off. The control is now in the hands of women more than men. Carpentry. I mean, women
Shoemaking.
have shoemaking, the beauty of creativity. So the creative space and the STEM space has been taken over. You don't know whether it's a male or female, even when you're hiring now. When you're going to fix your shoe, when you're even seeing an Uber, you don't know whether it's a woman who's going to be the Uber driver. You know, at first, you have your expectation in your mind, this is going to be a gentleman, taxi driver. Now you sit and it's a woman. You go somewhere and you say, okay, I'm going to get my shoes done. It will be a male shoemaker. Now it's a woman. You go somewhere and then you say that, okay, I'm going to get a table, furniture, and it's a woman. So every non-traditional sector has now been shown that that equity is there. That's what I'm saying. So one is about support and mentoring and aggregating it and saying that in UBA in this year, maybe 300 women have come up into new creative spaces. So I've added innovation, I've added this. You can actually aggregate it in a corporate space, aggregate it in a business space, in the market. Look at the number of women who are now even doing things more creatively in the market. Now we don't even have just going to the market to buy tomatoes. Somebody's delivering it to your home, washing it, cleaning it, packaging it. So now, so that I always say impact is always measured by action, one, and it's measured by vision, seeing.
Yes.
So in both areas, progress has been made. The only issue is people are waiting for it to be structured, to be counted, to be aggregated. But we see the progress every day. In a hug you give someone in the hall, initially you wouldn't even see a woman just hugging another woman so easily. Now we love each other to bits. And that's the truth. Our mothers used to do it. I was just, I've just been talking about, my mother has friends 6 decades. I'm sure Auntie Joyce has friends like that. She carried a relationship. All her bond. They are 6 friends, and they had relationships over 60 years.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
these 60 years of relationships, I didn't even remember seeing them. But I know they fought many times, but they would make up and they keep going.
Sure.
60 years, and they are friends today that can say she was my friend 60 years ago. So that tells you that women are actually supporting women, and it wasn't today, it's over the years, it's now being seen.
Thank you. I think I'll pause here and let us all know that this is being brought to you by United Bank for Africa through the U-Lioness Association, which is the association of all the women in UBA, and of course, is powered by our Ruby accounts. Now, to add to what you said, I mean, I celebrated my first anniversary with UBA just on the 1st of March.
Wow.
And when I joined, we had a meeting at Movenpick. And I was pleasantly surprised to see a lot of business managers being women.
Yes.
And it's something that I actually acknowledge. So it's something, I think we should give UBA a round of applause. I mean, giving that platform for us to also thrive. And it's something that not only management, I think all of us are very conscious of it around here, to support women to be able to live up to their full impact. I'll switch roles a bit. Let me come to you. Can you share your perspective on the topic of our conversation? Like, our conversation is on thriving in your career and the secrets to honing your personal brand. I know the last bit actually is like your middle name, personal brand.
I was going to say, when you talk brand, you talk. She teaches it and lives it.
Okay.
But you kind of
Epitomize it.
Thank you.
So today I have a secret to share, because when I was coming, I knew that Auntie Joy was in the panel. Anyone who has sat in any of my classes, whenever I'm using a personal brand and a typical example, she's always one of the women on the screen.
Amen
True.
to
True.
that.
True.
Amen to that.
And I talk about it because when you define a personal brand, these are the 4 things that always come to my mind, and I want to use this as a platform. And I'm glad someone who epitomizes it is here, right? I mean, if you look at my PowerPoints, I mean, my team will tell you, it's always, at least if you look at the people on there, you see Auntie Joyce, and everybody says, oh, Auntie Joyce, because they recognize her in most of the classes. One when you talk about a personal brand, the first thing you talk about is what you stand for, your values. 2, what you are best at. That is the things that you know how to do best. 3, the things that you master, the skills that you are intending to master or you have already mastered. But I always say the things that you can even do better at. So the things that you do best, what you stand for, that's your principles and values, things that you master. And then the 4th thing is putting authenticity through all of them. That means being who you are. Never, whether you're in public or private, people see you like that. And the true nature of a personal brand is having that ability to reflect that in your appearance, in your behavior, in your communication, and then in your development or digital footprint. So 1, I'll say this again because whenever I see young people coming up, when I see people sitting in their offices listening, I want to say this and I want to show you how a case study sitting right here so you can understand because I teach it. And what I say is 1, your personal brand is what you stand for, the principles and values you live. 2, what you are best at, the things that you know how to do so well. 3, the things you are yet to master or you intend to master into your brand. And then 4, being authentic. That is having that authenticity. So all these things are not fake. They are really who you are. What you stand for doesn't change. What you are best at doesn't change. And then the most important thing is not just having those, because people theorize the personal brand too much. How do you put that into action? In your appearance, all these things must show. In your behavior, all these things must reflect. In your communication, it's there. And then in your development or your digital footprint, it depends. So if it's Auntie Joyce, she may have a digital footprint, but most people would use like technology or how they help other people. So development, that's it. So it's A, B, C, D. Why do you do that? And how do you do that? 1, when you see Auntie Joyce, what do you see? Intelligence.
I was going to say intelligence. I see beauty.
I
see
decency.
Exactly.
Grace.
Yeah.
If you mention out of 6 things and you tell her, you ask her what her principles are, at least 1 or 2 will be it. So what a personal brand is, the person epitomizes these things. So what you stand for must reflect. So when I say decency, somebody will say decency is in how you. One thing that Auntie Joyce, you can never miss is African print, kaba, and suit, not slit, and suit, because it's always either a jacket. Have you realized? Yes. Because she mixes business with the concept of traditional, who she is. So she's a bit, and what was said, business executive. So a business executive, she wears the jacket for you to know that I'm wearing a jacket. And then she wears the slit and kaba for you to know that I'm a traditional African woman. And she's maintained this for I don't know how many years.
4 decades.
Exactly. When you knew Auntie Joyce, some of you see, I always say that I'm 25 now, but Auntie Joyce is also 30. Because when I knew Auntie Joyce, she's always had a short haircut. Actually, it was shorter than that.
Yes.
I saw her with a sakura. One thing that has never left Auntie Joyce is her lipstick, her makeup. When she was in the finance ministry, local government, I used to remember slim sakura. I have pictures. One day I'll show it. So when I use her in my classes, because I know her, I've seen how she's evolved, and there are some certain things she's maintained. One of them is business-like and professionalism. And then she integrates that with her Christianity, her spirituality, her belief. So what I'm saying is, what are her principles? Professionalism, spirituality, decency. So when I say reflect it, that is what I mean. So it means that when somebody sees you, you don't need to tell them. They need to determine that these are your values. When someone sees you, you don't need to tell. They need to say, this is what you stand for. As soon as you appear, in just your image, your body language, and it's not always about what you wear, because what you wear is only like 25%.
Yeah,
but
fraction.
after what she wears, when she comes to sit down, have you watched her? Warmth. She's always with a smile.
May I add punctuality?
And then she would add, yes, her punctuality is this thing. And then she would be, she's always my daughter, my son, she is that person.
A member of the family.
That's what she said. I prefer Auntie Joyce because I've always called her. And she is my Auntie Joyce. She'll tell you she's my Auntie Joyce. So she's all of us Auntie Joyce. I'm using her to teach anybody who is watching this that as you develop a personal brand, number one, you have to be intentional. As soon as, I used to say from day one, now I'll tell you that you have to be intentional as soon as you decide. Because she has not changed. She's just evolved from who she used to be. And one of the things that she's integrated so strongly now is her spirituality. So you can always tell a personal brand by what they stand for. Second, what they are best at. Mining. You can tell that she is in the mining industry. She was very clear about where she was going from local government. You can always tell that she's worked with presidents, she's worked with her in the way she carries herself. As soon as she comes in, you'll be like, this woman has presence.
Certainly.
Executive presence. Where is it from? So why am I using them? I'm using it to demonstrate whether you are a male, whether you are a female listening, especially the young women, especially the women who are sitting up there. You need to actually take, and I wrote this down. That is how I developed my brand. Wrote down what I believe my values were. Remember the example in who she is. So when people see you, they should not ask questions. What do you do? What are the things that matter to you? So that is what a personal brand to me in terms of in practicality. Before all the other
personal brand. Now, I know we've had a lecture.
We have.
Yes. Yeah. But 4 decades of experience in the public and private sector. Certainly, we are here to get the secret. So, Auntie Joyce, can you share your perspective on this topic for us?
Well.
The first thing for me is to determine to be the best that you can be. And that for me spells excellence. Try to be the best that you can be. And this falls in line with what do you do best? And how do you make it even better as you go along? I know that we live in an age where most of us suffer from this disease called comparisonitis.
Very much.
Auntie Joyce, you have to break this one down.
This one.
Not all of us went to the medical school.
Even the doctors don't know it. So we like to compare ourselves
Oh, yeah.
to others. And what is a little upsetting now is that we choose people we call celebrities. And we call them celebrities only because they're in a certain type of public space. I'm saying certain type of public space. And because they are in our faces all the time, we seem to think that they are the ones we must follow. But we must, as she said, be authentic. One of the things I don't do, you will never catch me wearing a pair of trousers in public.
Exactly.
2 reasons.
Yep.
First reason, I still haven't found a pair that I think I look good in.
Exactly. Authenticity.
You see,
You know
because I
yourself.
really
You know yourself.
feel that if I'm going to wear pants, they must fit and fit well. I still haven't found them. Secondly, you know, my backside is such that when I pass, 3 hours, it's still following me.
Authentic African woman.
So
That's
So
nice.
you know, it's not something I want to expose. So I don't do it. So for me, part of excellence, as you said, how you groom yourself,
That's right.
right? Who you know you are and what you value most,
That's right.
you know? How you decide to carry on with your life. So I'll start with excellence.
Love it.
I'll put professionalism also second. You know, ladies, we need to be professional. We need to be professional. Yes, we have some charm, but the charm is only to be used for good effect.
Yeah.
It is one of the best things we have for customer service and for good communication, the charm.
Yeah.
It is not meant to manipulate at all. And so you need to be professional. After all, you are in a space where professionalism is important. And you don't want to be promoted because you know somebody. It is so demeaning.
Merit.
Let me state it. Honestly, you must feel sorry for yourself if you cannot be promoted because you're good at what you do, but you're going to be promoted because somebody put in a word for you, or you decided to make friends with somebody, and it definitely will not be another lady in the office. So professionalism is very important. Professionalism also comes with a few things. You have to burn the midnight oil. You have to be learning all the time, all the time. And I mean all the time. And learning these days is quite easy. You know, this contraption that we hold called a phone,
Yeah.
especially if it's Android, it can give you every kind of information you want.
That's right.
So instead of just spending time on Twitter and WhatsApp and Facebook and so on, choose to use it to learn. Choose to use it to learn. So go and ask Mr. Google about what you need to know, not only in banking, but in several other areas, you know, and you'll be learning all the time, because you cannot be professional if you're not learning all the time, because the space you find yourself in is changing all the time. And change requires that you too change
That's right.
to maintain your cutting edge. And I'm saying cutting edge because mediocrity should never be in your vocabulary. Mediocrity should not be in your vocabulary. So as a professional, it's not only what is inside your head, but as she said, you know,
How it reflects.
Outside too.
your communication, you know, and communication is not only because you speak the language well,
Exactly.
because your body language communicates far more than the words you sometimes utter. It's very important. And in communication, a certain sense of friendliness, you know, will get you friendliness.
That's right.
Love will bring love,
That's right.
you know. Arrogance will also bring you arrogance.
That's right.
Because, you know, there are some people who are more arrogant than you are.
Exactly.
If they see it in you, they'll show you.
Exactly.
You know, so part of your professionalism is a combination of hard and soft skills.
Ah.
Hard and soft skills. You know, it is very important. So can you imagine, you add excellence to your professionalism, and beyond the sky is your limit,
That's right.
right? Okay. And then there's also something called, you know, passing on what you know. If we're not suffering from comparisonitis, then it's a sickness of comparisons. Yes. You know, anything with itis means that it is an infection.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Tis,
An
tis,
infection.
tis. Itis.
You know, itis means it's an infection.
I love it.
Yes. You know. So you have to make sure that in addition to your professionalism and so on, your soft skills and so on, you set yourself some goals. That's all part of your branding, you know. You set yourself some goals because in addition to what you have, there's always something else that you would add on. Now she is a teacher par excellence, but she's also a fashionista, you know. And in being so fashionable, she has decided that others need to benefit. And so she's into Alio and everything else. Alio, you still have some of my money. You have to come and...
Auntie Joyce, anytime. That's
Yeah.
for you, dear. It's for you.
Yes. So I
I'll
have to
bring-
come and just get spoiled.
As just when
Yeah.
you're going, just let me know. Since
You'll
I,
accompany me.
She has enough money to cover all of you. So come.
as just please
You know?
share the dates.
So there's always something else you can add. You know, a lot of us complain about not making ends meet, but as women, there's always something more
That's
we
right.
can do.
That's right.
Something much more. Now, you come to the office, people need snacks.
Yeah.
People need snacks. You're good at putting little things together. It does not take away from your professionalism. When you come to that's what my mother used to do to supplement her income. My mother was very good at baking, you know, and so she would do it, and she would, by 6 o'clock, she's ready to leave the house, and she's got her meat pie, her rock buns, and so on, nicely packaged. She's leaving some at Kingsway and taking the rest to the office,
That's it.
you know. And it just made her a little more financially empowered. You see,
Yeah.
a little more financially empowered. And that is also very important. The worst time in my life was when I got married, moved to a foreign country where I didn't speak the language and therefore could not work. So even if I needed sanitary pads, I had to depend
100%.
on my then husband. Can you imagine? Somebody who had lived on her own for more than 9 years, you know? So, exactly. Later on, of course, my language skills helped me. I was helping people with French and English. Then I could earn something. But even now, as we sit here, some of us are still quasi-dependent, you know? And yet inside of you, you can either knit or crochet or you don't know what crocheting is.
We do.
You see? Crochet, or you can do little things to cook. These ladies who are now packaging groceries and saying, some of them were also in the bank. I know some who were also in the bank. Not here at UBA, but they were in the bank. And then they noticed that their colleagues always needed some assistance. So they were adding it to what they were doing.
That's right.
And then later on, they decided to take it full time.
That's right.
Now they have vehicles, not vehicle, vehicles. And people even in the markets
Yeah.
who keep fresh produce for them. Some of them wash and package for them.
Yeah.
They just go and collect and deliver. There's so much that we can do. So in addition to your professionalism, empower yourself also economically.
That's right.
Empower yourself economically.
I love
It will not deter from what you do. Now, when Jibodi is lecturing, you will not think that she has a spa, will you?
That's right.
You won't think so. So you think that, oh, there's this lady, she's always going from here to there. But she has trained people who can run the spa in her absence. But now that there's a digital divide, she can even communicate with them, whether she's in Alaska or she's in Cape 3 Points.
3 points.
You see?
Amazing.
And so adding something on to make you a little more empowered economically also gives you a certain brand. Because you see, then because you are a little more empowered, you carry yourself very well. Otherwise, there's always a certain begging mentality, isn't there? There's always a certain begging mentality. And it's not good for anyone to have this dependency syndrome, which sometimes turns into, you know, a bit of entitlement.
Yeah.
I deserve it, give it to me. And that's not very good.
Yeah.
Because we need to also be helping others.
Sure.
The other day, I was at home, and a young lady I had helped to go and do some barbering just walked into my home and said, oh, Mommy, I want to be your barber. Whenever you're ready, just call me, and I'll come and barber you, you know. So, because she decided to do not hairdressing, but she wanted to be a barber.
Yeah.
And that's what she set the shop up, you know, and that is what she does.
Did you do this one?
Amazing.
This one is not as nice as what she does.
Really?
Next time I have a cut, I'll come and show it to you.
You just take a shot.
Yes, I will. Oh, you don't want to see me?
I want to see you.
And then I'll come. You know, so that is one of the things that add to your professionalism. Be a person of faith. It improves your brand. You know what it does? It gives you a deep-centered sense of confidence and well-being. When you're a person of, I mean, let's face it, the whole creator of the world is your father, is your provider, is your protector, is your guide. I mean, what more confidence do you need?
Who can be against you?
Who can be against you? You know what I mean? So faith is very important. Now the West is falling all over itself, saying it's not important. You see, they built their economies, they built their systems on faith. But now that they have become what to do, they say it is not important. Now by faith, I don't mean come to the office late, sit at your desk and open the Bible now to do your Bible study. That is no faith. And I can assure you, God doesn't even see it. Because in God's economy, excellence, timekeeping, discipline, hard work, integrity, these are the things that matter to God. You see, because if you don't do that, then you are not a reflection of Him.
That's right.
You see? So when you add faith, it will also actually improve all your other areas. You have a very sharp mind, because all you need to do when you need information is just your prayer, and God will lead you to where to find it. To find it. Either through a friend, either through a book, either from the phone, either from something that you do already, and you'll be there. So it's a total being.
That's right.
And I like the authenticity. You have to be authentic. You know, you are you. It doesn't matter how much you pretend. There's a day when the pretense will come down, and then everybody will know you're not you. So why bother? Just be yourself, a better yourself. A better yourself. That should be until you reach the best of yourself. That's where we're going.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll still stay with Auntie Joyce. Auntie Joyce, I know Madame Jibodi has said a lot, but I'm still going to ask, what makes you stand out in the industry you find yourself in?
Right now, am I even in any industry? Well, one of the things, you know, when I left formal mining, that is when I left the chamber, before I left the chamber, some people actually thought I was a mining engineer. No.
Okay.
I didn't even do science in school. No. My best science is O-level general science. Yes. But, you know, two skills that are so important. Reading and writing.
Yeah. Both.
These are two skills that are so important. In fact, there are only 3 skills that we go throughout our education. They call them the 3 R's. Reading, writing, arithmetic, mathematics. And please, don't be like me and allow yourself to be told that you're not good at maths. Because it's not true.
You can do it.
When we were in school, they said if you were good in maths, then you were either ugly or you were a witch. I didn't want to be either. I didn't want to be either. So I just played with my maths, you know? But these things are very important. But you see, as a woman, mathematics is your life.
You do it all the time.
All the time, whether it's algebra, whether it is what else? Algebra, no, pure maths. Oh, you know what do they do? They're drawing. Not trigonometry, geometry.
Geometry.
You know, when you're making your paper like this, it's part of your geometry because you want every line to be in place. When you see the corners, the shapes, sizes, corners, straight lines.
Yeah.
You go to the hairdresser, she's braiding your hair. Oh no, the pattern is not straight. Geometry, triangles, all those. Simple things we do all the time. So make sure that you stand for some of these things. So when I went to the chamber, I was reading all the time, and I used to visit the mines all the time. I've always believed in excellence. And I've also always believed that we are capable of doing anything that we set our minds to do. And it's true, you know. So I slept mining, I ate mining, I woke up mining, everything. I was totally consumed because I wanted to be the best.
That's right.
And it's very important.
And I'm sure I can say this without being afraid. You have been the best.
Thank you. Now, right now, we're talking National Cathedral. Some people don't like it, but me, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet, because I believe that it is good to have a place where all denominations can meet, if for nothing at all. It's not going to be every Sunday, no. But there are times, for example, if it was declared that Christians should have a day of national prayer, must we always be in a park? Must we always go to a park somewhere? No. We can have a sanctuary for that purpose. So I am totally sold out, and I'm reading about how others did it and what they did and so on and so forth. You know, once I get given an assignment,
Read all about it.
I have to be the best, not to show off or anything, but to add value. To add value. You see? Yes. Add value to what you're doing. Okay. Add value. After all, the one who called you feels that there's something you can bring.
Exactly.
Why disappoint yourself and the person? Why not leave a legacy that, as Jibodi is saying, will be the source of mentoring? You know, each of us is a mentor. Sometimes we don't know. Do you know that there are some people in this office who watch you and the way you do things to make themselves better?
Yes.
I love it.
You know?
I love it.
And yet you haven't called them to talk to them. But as she said, when people see you and they see the values that you stand for, they see the way you work, they see the way you relate with the people you work with, high and low, they know there's something in you they would also like to imbibe. Sure. So that's how I have sort of, and I talked cutting edge. Yeah. Cutting edge, you have to be the best, always setting the pace. That's how you sort of build a brand and stay on top of it.
Okay, thank you.
Please go to Djibouti.
Yes, I'm going to
her. She's done absolutely. I mean, she's just, I'm learning so much. You know, like you said,
you have no idea how much I have learned from you. The ABCD.
Okay, so does everyone need to have a brand?
I believe so.
Everyone is a brand anyway.
You come absolutely as a brand. So you shouldn't even ask yourself, should you be a brand or should you not? I believe that everyone has to be a brand. Once again, I have to glean from what my mommy has just said. And I want to add things. And as she was saying it, two things were just coming to mind. And she said it. And what I loved about the synergy that's going on here is that as soon as each principal, and Joyce has broken it down so well. The teaching, oh my God, didn't you love it? One of the things that I think set women apart, one of the differences that, like Auntie is saying, is how we handle our weaknesses. Everybody is imperfect.
Yeah.
We are all imperfect. But one of the things we cannot pray away, and I love the way she said it, in God's kingdom is discipline. In God's kingdom is organization, is coordination. So you can't say that, okay, I will just wipe my imperfections away. One of the things I always say is that I came to learn how I built my personal brand was all my imperfections being, like they said, they have a tree, and I can't one that I like most. I always teach in my class, Obi, Chasa, or whatever. You can't
to me,
so it's always somebody that will tell you what they're seeing, and it's how you take it, how you handle your weaknesses, and how you work on them intentionally. Like, to become the best, like she's saying, you would have failures, many of them. You would have serious adversity. So I want to just say, prepare for it, because it will come. It is.
You even have a lecture on failures.
And I say that it is actually part of your brand. So actually building up through that makes you the brand. So as she was talking about being the best, you actually develop yourself for those times. A lot of times we don't know, we forget that those seasons will come. So we do not prepare for those seasons by reading enough, building our soft skills enough, building our emotional intelligence. The soft skills like your emotional intelligence, your empathy, your people intelligence, social intelligence, your connection. When you have those things as tools in your bank, it doesn't go anywhere. I always say when you build soft skills, they are for you. Even though you may get the training in your workplace, let's say somebody comes to train, somebody comes to train. It is your skill. You may use it in your workplace, but it's your life skill. When we were younger, they call these things life skills.
Life skills.
That's what they teach. And as Auntie Joyce was talking about them, these things, you build them for times that are difficult. You build them for times. You talk about resilience or emotional resilience. Women do it more. We have wombs. You know, because you are able to build those skills. I always say that people feel like, oh, Djibouti just comes out of adversity easily. No, I'm going through the pain, but it is because I have built a soft skill of emotional resilience. At that point, I pull and I draw. In addition to knowing that the God that is in me, I have that protection, I have that preparation, but really, I draw from that bank. It is a skill, and I utilize it for that season. So I want everyone to know that as part of your personal brand, I'm standing here, I'm sitting here, I've been crying buckets this morning. And I'm telling you the truth, I have been crying buckets this morning. But look at me, I'm talking because it is my skill, I'm serving. And I always say that for some reason, some adrenaline happens when I'm doing what I'm best at. As soon as I leave this stage, I could be different. But as soon as I'm sitting and I know that I am serving, and Auntie Joyce will tell you the same thing. So we go through things every day, every moment. Don't shun them when they come. Part of our equity is embrace them and know that, one, you are imperfect, it's part of your brand. Two, you have a weakness, it's part of your brand. Three, you will face adversity, it's part of your brand. Four, you would have to be resilient, it's part of your brand. So I want to bring that very, 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 very strongly to say that everything that Auntie Joyce was saying, she was talking about build skill, read, learn, write. You can do all of that. If you can't, you don't know how to crack and rebuild your cracks under pressure. You can have all the skills. You have to build it back. One. Two, I talked about decades of relationships. Ladies, one of the things that I've realized, and I have to do a little bit of comparisonitis.
I said.
With the men. They don't burn bridges.
No.
So they are always relevant in
Yes.
spaces.
Yes.
Immediately we let offense get to us. They can have a fight right now.
Fist cuffs. And yet.
Amazing. The next moment, they develop that relationship. I mean, you don't even see the relationship breaking. That same person, they can call the person, they can. So it seems like they are more confident than us. It seems like we have that confidence already in us. Yes. But they don't burn bridges. And that's what I'm saying, comparisonitis. But the thing about it is I've realized that our level of confidence comes from the fact that when we face rejection, it's difficult for us to overcome. When a man faces rejection, he keeps going. And then the second thing I want to say is, when you are not up to par, of a certain role, you can learn yourself
to be there.
To par.
Yes.
So when you get to an interview, you get to a place where you have to, and Auntie Joyce said it, communication. A man will communicate 300 times what he is, and a woman will communicate 70% of what she is. So the man will say 300% but with us, because of that level of, we don't want to say because of our perfection. Allow yourself to be imperfect and learn yourself to be perfect. So grow. I always say growth starts here. Okay, so you grow yourself to be perfect. And it's a soft skill. The ability to learn. The ability to build. So I want to say that every single person is a personal brand. I teach also that every single person is a high performer. It is only the level of potential that you use. So there's nobody who's an average performer naturally. You are a high performer. It's who you are. It's who you were born to be. But the thing about it is that it is how much of that potential that you use. So when someone is using 10% of their potential, somebody calls them a superstar. But someone is using 2% of their potential, someone is calling them average. All you have to do is build your excellence, build your professionalism, build your empowerment. I've learned, I'm using it. And build your faith. And you will get to that stage. And you practicalize that. So all I'm saying is, as you build these things, you face adversity. I want to remind you, you face your weakness. You will come face to face with your weakness. And probably at a place where you don't want. At a place where embarrassment is right around the corner. But that is when you stand and you say, I can do this. So remember that that world of weakness is part of your brand. And remember that you have to learn yourself. And don't burn bridges. Relationships are mostly your place of relevance. And as Auntie Joyce was saying, don't let somebody just speak for you. I always say a personal brand is what speaks for you when you are not in the room. And a sponsor is that person that, don't let somebody speak for you where you cannot back it up with your merit.
Ooh,
Yes.
let that sink in again.
Never let anyone speak for you where you cannot back it up
with your merit.
Never. Because whenever somebody walks into the room, they are taking a chance on who you are. Their reputation is just on the line for you. As soon as you walk into that recommendation, you must back it up with your merit. Nothing, and I think one of the other things, and just said comparisonitis, I want to add the itis too. The other thing we call entitleitis.
It's a terrible infection.
The entitlement mentality, where did it come from?
I have no idea.
We get to a stage where we feel like it is my obligation. You need to do it for me. And that's what Joy said. You deserve it. There are so many other people who deserve it, but you got the chance. Many people deserve it, even sometimes more than you, but you got the chance to be in that role. You got the chance to be in that position. You got the opportunity to be there. What are you doing with it?
Yes.
Don't be entitled. There are hundreds of people who are looking for what you have.
Yes.
The moment you jump out of it is when you realize that somebody is ready
And even better.
to take it, and they do it better than you ever would have thought about doing.
On that note, let me remind you again that we are still having a webinar brought to you by UBA and U Lionesses. And our topic is thriving in your career and the secrets to honing your personal brand. It's been, the word amazing, I think, is doesn't come close to describing it. But I thought, I have a feeling that I cut into, so I'll continue.
It was very important that you said that. But I've landed anyway.
Okay.
It's a land.
Okay. And also to let you know out there, please continue to share on our Facebook and our YouTube. It's live. Join us. Send in your comments. Send in your questions. And we'll ask them as we go along. I'll stay with you.
Yes.
Before I go to Auntie Joyce. I'm getting this vibe from Auntie Joyce that's saying that, stay there. I'll come back.
Auntie Joyce.
I'll certainly go there. Okay, so what does it take to build a brand that helps one in their career growth? I mean, we've said we've gone through all of that. Yes. So that's how do you react to or handle situations that tarnish your personal brand?
That's where
especially in this day and age of technology, there are, I'll always say, silly things that we do. You know, people go to interviews, their Facebook page is, opened up and they don't even get to complete the interview. Or, I'll just leave it to you. How do you react or handle situations that can have?
I think we've both said it in many words, but it is important that your digital footprint reflects your authenticity, who you are. So the thing about it is I always tell people that, and once again, there would be moments of weaknesses, there will be moments of situations. Now in this country, all you have to do is start having a conversation. Somebody just pulls out a phone. It doesn't matter what it is. So I always tell you, if you decide that, you first have to decide where you want to be. You have to secondly decide who your role model is. And like Auntie said it, sometimes you want to be a banker. You want to be a chief marketing officer. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to be the biggest person in the market. You want to be the biggest carpenter. But then you may find that you are following, let's say, a musician. How does that align? So you must be industry aligned. You can take elements of what you love, because your personality may be, I may have music as a passion and banker as mine. So you pick the elements, but you don't pick everything, because you have to remember that your industry speaks. So if a musician does a particular thing, for you, a banker, you are
Can't do
seeing,
it.
you can't do it. So if another celebrity, a soccer star, is able to get away with something, you cannot get away with it. Do you understand? So you have to know so much as to know where I'm going in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. You have to see that and follow that and be intentional. So role model is finding a role to model.
Let that
So-
sink in.
Role modeling is not just picking any role, finding your aligned role and model it. So, and I always say a role model does not have to be someone you've spoken to. It's just someone you've seen. We look at the people we read from. Look at the books we read. Most of the time, we don't even meet the people in person in our lifetime. So it's role modeling. Model who you intend to be intentionally. So that is what I would say. And that would be the first. So I like to take preventative measures first, because that then prevents you having reputational damage in the first place. Okay? But what you do when you have reputational damage, and I have to say this, shh.
Yeah.
Keep it quiet.
Why do you talk? Why do you defend yourself? Why do you spend time rebutting? Like I say, watch again the people who handle situations with grace. They call it grace under fire. It is gravitas. Most of those people, they hardly respond to reputational. You keep quiet. You listen very carefully. If you have to have somebody speak on your behalf, fine. But at that point, it's not a point where now you have to go. It's like an argument. You're having an argument with the air. So if you're having an argument, is that a place to have an argument? No. Reputational damage happens. If there's a need for apology, you apologize. If there's a need to speak, you speak. But everything is tactical, well planned, well organized, and well managed. But a lot of people, somebody says something about them. Hey, you people that are saying all that about me, well, this is, and I'm warning you. That is not, that doesn't handle. So when reputation is actually equals to your revenue plus your reach.
Please say that again.
Revenue
Your
plus
reputation is equals to your revenue plus your reach, because your reputation is how, and the people that you reach is what gives you the money that you make or the value that you have. Your revenue, it's how many people know you and how many people know that reputation, and that leads to the value that people place on you or the money that people pay you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because if you have a reputation as a banker, okay, and many people know that you are a banker, that is how people reach you as a banker to speak. If somebody knows you are a speaker and they know that you are a good speaker, that reputation is what brings you. If somebody, so what pays you is your reputation plus the number of people that know about your reputation. That's how you get your revenue. Okay, so that is your value. So you must always remember that your authenticity is still your reputation. So every weakness that you have, it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to share, but work on it until you get to the point. So it's very important. So who you are, the value that you have is based on your reputation and how many people that know about it. In simple terms, that answers your question.
But I'd like to add a little something.
Okay.
You know, in one of our proverbs, it is said that, or our wise sayings, it is said that when you are in the bathroom and a mad person comes to take your cloth, you don't run after the person. You know, just to buttress what
Exactly.
she's saying.
100%.
So,
Exactly.
you know, because frankly, the madman will be wearing your cloth.
Exactly.
And you
are naked.
will be naked with soap all over you.
Yes.
You know.
And you be carried away as the bad man.
Yes. So,
They're going to wonder who is mad now.
exactly. And the important thing also, you said avoidance. There are times when you don't have to be on all the social media handles. You don't have to be. You know, and even when you are there, just be careful what you do. I mean, there are certain things I see and I wonder, why would anybody want to do that? You know. But sometimes it's because comments, whether it's in the social media you use and what you put out on it. I have a Facebook, but I don't even know because it's managed for me and it's only for scripture, just to share scripture. That's all. And my Twitter page. Don't ask me what it is because I can't even open it. You know, I use it because it enables me to share. You know, but that's it. But some of us feel that we have to be everywhere.
Very true.
Part of being confident is that you love your own company.
Yeah. Just love yourself.
You love your own company. So there are times when you can be by yourself. Everybody will be going to a wedding, but you would choose to stay at home. It doesn't matter how big the wedding is. It doesn't matter whether, you know, the most important person in the world is coming. You may choose not to go. And that is part of confidence. Because frankly, if you don't go, you won't spoil anything.
They won't even know that you came.
They probably might know, you know. But the thing is that
life will go on.
It will go on. And sometimes, remember, they are only calling you because of politeness.
Yeah. Not be that they want you.
I have a former boss. She said that. She said, give people the opportunity of saying no.
Yes.
It's probably an opportunity to say no.
Politeness. Then you also be polite back and say, oh, so sorry, I can't make it.
That's right.
It's nothing wrong. But some of us, every social place we want to be, that's not what defines us. When we were talking about brand and we said everybody's a brand, it's because everybody's unique.
Exactly.
And uniqueness is a brand.
It's a brand. That's who you are.
Uniqueness is a brand, you know? And so you build on who you are and what makes you stand apart from others.
That's right.
That's what you do and build on it,
That's right.
you know? So social media is good, but social media can also be a terrible enemy.
To you.
And you have to know how to use it.
Absolutely.
There's something in PR called damage control,
Yes.
but it's almost like a firefight.
Fight.
Why don't you avoid the fire? The thing about firefighting is that as soon as you finish one, another one is over there. You have to go and start that one. So just be careful. You won't always win, but one of the things that I always joke with is that, you know, as a Christian, you know the Holy Spirit is the symbol of oil. So oil yourself. And when the attacks come, they'll just drain off your body. They'll just drain. Because when you put water on some of these, who are these macho people, the people who build their bodies? They're always greased. Pour water on them, all the water will drain. So sometimes what is negatively said about you, you should allow to pass, especially if it is not true. And that's why you need to be authentic. You see, because if you're authentic, then people know you for who you really are, who you are in public and who you are in private. So even somebody else will be defending you. Or say, no, Ojibodi is not like that. Even though it is said, Ojibodi is not like that, you know. But the thing is, some people like to throw mud. That day you may have been wearing white. So it will discolor. But you know, white can be washed. And you wear it again.
And it's clean.
And it's clean.
Amazing.
So you have to determine the kind of insults that you will let slide. The kind of insults that you will use to make yourself better. Failure, right?
That's right.
And the kind of insults that you will just run to God, cry to Him, wipe your face, and move on.
That's right.
You know?
Amazing.
So you have to determine these. You can't live because of other people and what they think about you. No, you can't live in this world like that.
No.
But don't also go and do something that will make them talk.
That's right.
Do you get me? Don't put yourself in that position. So avoidance is very good. But honing that brand also makes you very careful.
Yes.
Makes you very careful because when you're cautious, the thing is that, Djibouti, wherever she goes, South Africa, Johannesburg Airport, London Airport, this people would notice her.
That's right.
Because she's got a show that goes to 46 countries.
Exactly.
People she has never seen in her life will know her.
Exactly.
You know what it does? It keeps her on the straight and narrow.
Exactly.
She watches what she does, she watches what she wears, she watches the company she keeps, not because she's a hypocrite, but because she's building a brand and she wants to maintain that brand.
Right.
And even to add to that, and I think it's something that she shared earlier, that every one of us seated here, we have people who we may not know looking
Never know,
up to
but
us.
who are looking up to you.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you have to be mindful.
So
of
that
them
is how
too.
you have to, you have to model
Yes.
the role
Exactly.
that you would like to be. Right? Yes.
I love it.
Thank you so much. It is still the celebration of International Women's Day 2023, brought to you by UBA Ghana Limited and U Lionesses and powered by a Ruby account. Auntie Joyce,
Yes.
I have landed.
Very good.
Auntie
I'm
Joyce, this
taking
is
off
something
now.
that is, as women, I think is something that resonates among almost all of us. As a woman heading an organization, how do you handle intimidation from the other gender?
Let me frankly say that somehow I have never felt intimidated by
In the
any
first place.
Let that sink in.
Never,
In the first place.
never. I don't know, maybe it's the
I
socialization.
love that answer.
You know, because my mother was a fairly strong woman and she related to everybody. So we grew up not even thinking that there's something that should intimidate you. Then I went to a mixed school, primary and secondary. You know, we were all in the same class. Eh? When they were growing up, they had these spindly legs. We saw them, you know. Eh? We were all in the same prep, you know. So it's like,
you know them.
what is it?
That has changed.
That's thank you. You know. So that is the first thing. Also, I've seen or realized that when you're knowledgeable and you're confident and you are articulate, it helps you overcome whatever fears that you may have. It helps you. The third thing is, if you're not defined by the largesse of a man,
Oh,
then
why do you worry?
you don't have to worry. Because if in going for an interview or going into a meeting, it is not what the man is going to say that is going to make you better or get you what you're looking for, then why are you intimidated? Why do you have to cow? You know, because, you know, it is a situation of equal but different. We're all bringing different things to the table, you know. So a lot of times is because, one, we women feel we are not educated enough,
The 70% syndrome.
you know, or we cannot express ourselves enough. Or sometimes we may be the only one. So sometimes when I walk into a room full of men, I say, how wonderful to be in the majority of one. That's an icebreaker. How wonderful to be in the majority of one. So you walk there, they know you are the only one, but you also know that you brought some strengths with you.
That's the difference.
So, you know, it makes a difference. First and foremost, there's nothing to fear in a man. Just like if you're a man, there's nothing to fear in a woman. Because I know some of the men too are very afraid of approaching women. You know, it's like some of them, it's like when they see women they'll be wringing their fingers and, you know, sweating and so on. So actually, it's the same. Can you imagine how the men are also intimidated when it's us women who are the bosses?
That's right.
You also feel intimidated, you know. But the thing is not to feel like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that your knees may not be shaking when you are entering the room. That is also very natural, I can assure you. Every public speaker goes through that.
Oh, yeah.
Every public speaker goes through it. Sometimes you have to steel yourself before you hold the microphone because if you don't take care, it will start shaking in your hands. These are things about, you know, the frailty. She calls it weakness. I'll call it our frailties.
Exactly.
Our frailties, you know, which are normal but can be made better, can be made above normal. That's how I see abnormal. Above normal.
I love it.
You know, so let's try and be above normal. When you are in the midst of men, they are men. Even the spelling is short, 3 words. 3 words. Ours is 5. W-O-M-A-N. This is just M-A-N. But 5/3, I mean, strength, right? 5 is more than 3, isn't it? So you go there with, but it's the confidence, the knowledge you've built up over the years, your learning experiences, the way you have become professional and so on. It earns you respect.
That's right.
It earns you respect. So when you enter the room, you are respected. You're respected. Once you get that respect, and once you don't feel that they're going to put you down, you know, your own body language will show confidence, will show strength. So you don't have to be intimidated. But actually, I've never felt intimidated. I'm waiting to experience it.
Okay. I'm going to ask the next question. Okay. But the last question, I don't think I have to bother asking. Okay. Do you think that today's women are hindered from building great career because of gender inequality or because of fear and a deep-rooted inferiority complex?
To begin with, at least here in Ghana, there's no hindrance. Here in Ghana, there is no hindrance. We don't have laws that are like that. Educational facilities, you know, I mean, now we can all go. Interestingly, as Jiwadi is saying, you go to the schools because of STEM. Now in the medical schools, it's either 50-50 or 55-45, 55 women and 45 men. In the legal profession, it's becoming 50-50 or the women are getting more than that. In other science areas, was it just last weekend's Mirror? 3 young ladies in the digital divide running their own businesses. I think it was last week, you know. So, I mean, there's no hindrance. But there are hindrances also. Self-imposed.
That's what I was going to say.
Self-imposed because you said sometimes we don't have sufficient confidence. That one we can easily overcome. Some of them are cultural and traditional. But that too is changing because you see, even our grandparents are now getting a little more educated. You know, she said she was semi-illiterate. She wasn't illiterate. She hadn't got a degree. She probably went to class 6, but I can assure you her class 6 was better than somebody's JHS 3.
Yes.
You know, So with the kind of literacy that is going on, even our traditions are changing, whether it's female genital mutilation, whether it's child marriage, whether it's families feeling that the woman's worth is being married, so don't bother to send her to school. All these things are changing, even in the villages.
That's right.
And some of the policies from government are helping, you know. So, yes, culturally, there are simmering issues that we need to deal with. Some of the cultural thing is also making us impose restrictions on ourselves. But right now, things are also changing. And I think that now that we can even publicly talk about everybody is a brand, and even talking about how to build the brand and hone it. Hone it means make it better and better. You know, now that we're seeing that, it is going to liberate some more women. Even today's webinar is going to liberate some more women. Another talk is going to do that. People hear Jibodi on her show is going to liberate some more. And gradually the movement of getting better, you know, is taking hold.
That's right.
It's taking hold. Now hand holding is also very important. In this office, in this establishment, in this bank, there are some people who still need a little hand to hold, a word of encouragement, a word of, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it, you know. And a word to discourage them from comparing themselves to others. One of the things I have noticed, I'm saying we, a retired woman who's not in banking, in a bank saying we. Anyway, so a lot of us realize that degrees and so on are helpful. So some of us are killing ourselves to take these things. Some of us are newly married. We've got little children. And yet, we are not available. Neither to make the home a loving home or to give the children some attention. Now remember, those children are the next generation. They require proper upbringing. The empirical studies tell us that the first 5 years are the most critical. First 5 years are the most critical. So, knowing that after 5 years you can do some more, why would you deny yourself, your family, the child, the nation, a good citizen, merely because you're selfishly pursuing a certain interest, when that interest can be achieved, but later? You get me? That interest that you want to pursue can be achieved, but later. Because if you don't suffer from comparisonitis, then even if my young lady is younger than you but holding a high position, you are also better than her because you have children who are so well brought up that they're going to be good citizens. Do you get me? So everybody has something to give.
It's a win-win.
Every value, you know, we all have values to give. So we need, as women, in order to get better, you have to also time manage. And time manage does not only mean the 24 hours you have, but the years that you have, the months that you have.
That's right.
And Jibodi will tell you, there was a time she was not doing all these things.
Exactly.
She was busy raising her daughter.
Exactly.
And busy marrying.
Exactly. Very true.
Busy marrying and making a home. You see? So she was doing things, but at a slower pace. As her daughter got older, she put in the allure. Because she was running it, she could also make time, both for the home and for the daughter.
Integration.
God then did something which gave her a little more time. She took advantage of it after the grieving period and scaled up. She wouldn't have scaled up to this, but she got the opportunity. She took advantage of the opportunity, you know, after rising from the ashes. The morning turned into dancing. She took advantage and scaled up. We all have our moments when we will be down, but we can scale up.
Yes.
It means pace yourself. It's also a higher point of time management.
That's right.
And life management.
That's right.
You know, so you don't have to be at the top at age 25. How boring. You're going to retire at 65. What are you going to do with the 35 years if you've already attained? Do you get me? But can you imagine? They said that women are like pianos and wine. The older we are, the better we become. Use that also as your model. There are things to do in the interim. Do them, but still become the best that you can be. It's very important. It gives you also a certain stress-free life. Some of us are so stressed. You know, we're so stressed. We're no longer tensile.
Yeah.
We are breakable. But we have to be tensile. We should be stretched to the maximum and still not break. You see, because we have honed
That's right.
so many things. We have added marriage, we've added raising children, we have added school, we have added business. We've done all that and are still doing well. There's one lady we have to applaud, Mrs. Chinwe Hesse.
Yeah, very.
She's now the Chancellor of the University of Ghana. Yes. You know. There's another lady, now she's a Queen Mother. Nana Oyemansan. She used to be Mrs. Owusu, and she was, I think, the deputy, yes, of the Bank of Ghana. You know? So there have been some women, people who have become heads of banks, people, she passed now. Mrs. What's her name? Oh, the husband was the Bank of Ghana. The husband was the former Bank of Ghana head. Oh, Mrs. She became Foreign Affairs Minister and even Minister for Finance during the regime.
Oh, yeah.
The Ghana name, yes, the Ghana name. Yes, but she also rose very high. So, you know, for example, currently you have a lady, chief of staff. You have a lady who is the secretary to the cabinet. That is the highest civil service role. Civil service appointment
and
is secretary.
UBA has Abiola.
Yes, Abiola is also here.
UBA
you know.
country. Yeah.
So you can see that, and Abiola didn't get here just like that.
Exactly.
Abiola has also raised children.
Yes. Exactly.
She has also kept a good marriage. You get me? So the thing is to pace yourself. But if you know you're building a brand, it will all be part of it. It's a journey.
It's a journey. The story.
It's a journey. And the journey is a good journey. There's something I love. When you fall, do you know there's gentian violet?
Yeah.
So even emotionally, there's gentian violet, because you can go and cry on her shoulder.
That's right.
You know, and the wounds will be there. It will be healed.
That's right.
So let's build one another up.
Yeah.
This notion of we are our West and it has never been true.
Never. From
It
the
has
beginning.
never been
It
true.
was never.
Because
I was so glad it died
anything
out.
that gets done well is when women group.
Yeah.
Anything that gets done well is when women group up.
So important.
You know, look at the markets. It's because they group.
Yeah.
That's why there's food on sale
Yeah.
all the time. They group up as queens, they group up as middle people, they group up as the, you know, wholesalers, and then they group us as the retailers. And then some of them group up as the people who add the first level of value addition by doing the agbilima and condo, and then second stage, kenke, you know, it's all group things. We're good. Everybody is everybody's worst enemy.
That's right.
The men won't tell you how they gossip about one another, steal each other's girlfriends and wives.
Cause wars.
You know.
Because of other women's.
So,
Okay.
as human beings, we do that.
Yes. We are still celebrating International Women's Day 2023. This is UBA Ghana Limited. And this webinar is powered by UBA Ghana Limited, the ULINSS, the Association of Female Workers of UBA. We are still discussing thriving in your career and the secrets of honing your personal brand. We are still on the theme for this.
Last question.
Last question.
She said the last question was not necessary because we had talked about it.
So when Auntie Joyce talked, I was like, oh, what a landing.
We have not landed yet. Please, we are still reaching out to our viewers on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay.
Yes. So these questions are actually coming from them.
All right.
So the first one,
I hope
this
you give
one,
all the questions to Jibodi.
No, I'll be fair.
Oh.
We're embracing equity.
Yes.
Okay, so this will go to Auntie Jibodi. Okay.
Yes.
How do you keep your brand relevant and responsive if you shift careers? What steps do you take to rebuild your brand in the new space? Interesting.
I just I love this because it's really me in a nutshell. The relevance of your brand. And I think one thing that Auntie Joyce said, it reminded me of my one of my mother's favorite hymns, Through All the Changing Scenes of Life. It's a story, so your brand is a story. And every single part of it is a story. And what I loved, and I just want to say this before I talk just briefly, what I loved about what she said was, we place a lot of emphasis on time. You see, oh, I'm in a rush. Where are you in a rush to? Because you could aggregate at any stage. I mean, we hear stories of people, and some of the examples of the women she's talking about, they're still relevant. Look at Auntie Joyce. It's just how you take care of yourself over the years. And you can always be relevant as you continue to skill up. I use the word skill up.
Yes.
So you can scale up at any age. And that is what she's saying, that you don't have to do this at this time. We always have this, hey, I'm growing old. I have to do this at this time. I have to do this by this time. Some of them are important because some of them have like timelines. But the key thing is what you do first, how you prioritize. And I love that. So your brand is a story that brings every part of your life. That takes me to what people talk about reinvention. So you can already tell when you're talking about what I did, right? So I start in the finance space, investment banking, very doggy dog, very active, very in the midst of, and I always say this, and Auntie Joyce said this, and I love it because I don't understand this whole intimidation with men. Well, first of all, I was thrown in, I have 8 brothers, and I'm the last, and I'm the only girl. So tomboy throwing me over the wall. So intimidation is far from me. Then I worked in an industry where I was very male-dominated. So retail banking, investment banking, very heavy, financial services, consulting. Then it was out of that I realized that industry can burn you out. So how you manage your wellness, your lifestyle, and that is what leaped me into the spa business. So and I always tell people, if you want to reinvent, find a problem to solve right where you are. So that is what I did. So I saw a problem, and I've always had this conversation with my late mom because she tried a skincare product and something went wrong, and she used to always tell me to research this, research that, research this to solve that problem. So I said, okay, now if I can solve the skincare problem, I can open a spa. And people used to ask me, what is spa? I mean, I remember the first TV interview I had at a particular TV station, which still exists. They told me, spa, is it that thing that you play? That was 1998.
Yes.
That is when I started. So people were not even knowledgeable. I used that, and I started learning how to train people. So that then moved me into being a trainer. So every single part of who you are, there's always a problem there. Sometimes what we do is a blind spot. So we go past it instead of going to dig into it. Because it's a point of value. And she talked about financial empowerment. It's a point of learning. So sometimes, even in the place of adversity, that is when you find your new reinvention. So that then took me to a point when, okay, if you are training, now I started training people. So you have this academy, this beauty and spa academy that trains, I mean, I've trained thousands. I mean, my girls are all over.
Yes,
Everybody
one of them
comes
is
to
my
you.
masseuse.
They come to you mobile, and they are all over every time you go. And I tell people, say, oh, don't they take your secret away? I said, you know what? It is more of a legacy to say that Jibodi trained me than to think of somebody taking what you know away. It was a delight. I mean, yesterday, and I was getting all the bereavement messages, a lot of them were calling, and they remember the stories. We laughed, the memories, because some of them have passed through and learned. And your name is what is propagating, because it is your legacy. You train in that. Then, right when I was in the spa, people would come. So I would be sitting, and people would come. They are coming probably for a massage, but then they are coming from corporates. They are coming as businesswomen. They are coming as businessmen. And they start having a conversation with you and tell you, listen, I'm here for a massage, but I can tell you, I'm so stressed. I'm having a challenge with this. So in prayer, I try to find out, how do I help these people better? That is when I stumbled upon what I call coaching. So I didn't even know about that industry then, because all I knew was counseling. And then I started, just like Auntie Joy said, research. It took me months of research to understand. Then I said, if I come and I'm just even giving them all these ideas about work, why don't I learn it? Then I went and got my certified high performance coach. You know, so you keep building yourself. You know, so you skill up. I learned that, and then you become a trainer, and then you become a coach. And then I tell people, when I left from banking, investment banking in particular, financial services in particular, everybody thought I left that skill and left.
No,
it is
you
what
can't.
you use to run your business. Because how can you bring structure, standard operating procedures, day-to-day operations without having a certain background? You hire somebody to do it, but if you know how to do it, and that is what I used to run my business. That same model became who I became, a consultant. Now I was helping other people build the same models. So if you watch my journey, it's actually not been a journey that you just pick this, pick that. It's actually been an organized story, but a journey of reinvention, identifying problems, picking them up into solutions. So immediately these people started coming to me. I realized if I'm a coach, I could help them. Then I structured it also, into the business. And then somebody says, oh, if you're doing this, can you take that to TV? Because more people want solutions. And that is how the TV show came up. So everything evolves into another if you identify it and scale up. I keep using scale up because Auntie Joyce has said it over and over again, but I don't think it rings true. You see, a lot of people think they can do things by just watching.
No.
You have to do it by learning. If you see, so I always tell people, everything I do, people can do it and do it better. Just learn. Put in the hours. Auntie Joyce said it, and I always say, and this morning a friend of mine was saying something. She said, my new, what did she say? She said, my new role model is Ronaldo, because I heard that Ronaldo and Messi, they practice so much, and that is how he scores so much goal. And she was just saying that everything we do, we have to, every skill we have,
Practice makes perfect.
the more you practice, so we put in the hours. So then there came the TV show. So after the TV show, I realized that now the demand for coaching, corporate coaching, me being a trainer, and like Auntie Joyce said, a certain stage of my life, I was down. But through that, as soon as I rose from the ashes, I realized that is what actually people now need, because they have my experience and how you use that to build up is what somebody wants to learn from.
Yeah.
But then I didn't just take the experience and just told a story, because that doesn't have depth. So you learn and build up your coaching skills. And that is how Jibodi Consulting Group came out. So you have the Allure, Reinvent the Jibodi Show, and then Jibodi Consulting Group. So now everyone is talking about it. And Jibodi Consulting Group is about coaching, training, facilitation. Why? Because I am not just saying them, I have learned them. So when I stand with the organization, and whether it's C-suite or whether it's first level, I understand them because I have learned. So after I learn, then you apply your experience. So if you listen to Auntie Joyce, she's talking about what she's read, but she's also being able to use her experience to teach women how to time manage or prioritize. So it is not just, so I want to tell people that your confidence that you feel you don't have. Sometimes you have learned and you know it, but I want to let this thing drum. When you have a skill and you do not communicate that skill, nobody will know who you are. So your personal brand is about communicating the skills you have through messaging. So if I am Jibodi and I am not introduced in all these ways and somebody meets you, the opportunity is your communication. Every skill you have, aggregate it and communicate it. So over the years, you move from investment banking, financial services. You used to run your business, you run a spa, you go to become a coach, you have a TV show, and then you become a trainer, coach, facilitator, and then you keep going. I keep asking myself, what next? You never know, but it will be in the same field because as you train, as you learn, you keep going. So that is what reinvention is about. During your times of dipping times, there are peak times, okay, and non-peak times. During those times, there's always a problem to solve. And you know, I never hide my failure. In businesses, you fail, but when you fail, that's not what people remember. People remember what you did with that failure, how you built it back. And when you fail, it's also a story. When you fail, it's also an experience. And when you fail, it's not a reason to run back. It is part of your brand. Through all the changing scenes of life, it says in trouble
or enjoy.
Or enjoy. So it is whatever the story. And I love it because as she was saying it, he just told everything. And you just were so apt because that is what your personal brand is. Reinvent yourself often. Learn often. Skill up often. And like I said, even with Alio, I had the distribution where I was doing retail products. I had the academy, and then I had the spa. So even in one same field, you can have multiple things going around to empower yourself. So as you work here, ask yourself what skill. And I want to use this to buttress. Auntie Joyce said something. My mom was a great baker, okay? Recently, I had someone come to me. The person as COVID came out, they were catering. They were a catering company big. But as soon as events and co were stopped, they literally, and they know my story that at some stage in my business I struggled. So they came to me and said, they are struggling. They are literally bankrupt. They had events and all of them have been cancelled. What do they do and so on? And we're talking. So I said to them, do you know something? I'll tell you how I did. So when you're offering a service, when you're offering a product, you always think that the product's the only thing you live on. So I asked her, I said, all the things you've been doing, I've been watching you. I've watched you take this business. I see the way you price. I see the way you do your menus. I see the way you handle your client service, Auntie Joyce. And I said, do you know that you can be a food or a catering coach? Whilst you are in COVID, all the things you've known how to do, start documenting them in a book. Do you know that today, now she's not even doing catering. She's flying all over the world. To teach pricing, menu, strategy, how to develop. Just by adversity. Yeah. She had lost it all. But she forgot that the skill is in her head. Mind. And right now, the last time she called me, she told me, she said, you know what, Auntie Jibodi, all the money I made, even in cooking and this thing, what I'm doing now, sometimes it only takes like 2 or 3 events.
Yes, and I get all of it.
And she's not even, so she only does it now for fun, for friends. But her main job
coaching
is now a coach,
yeah,
catering coach. And she actually teaches, and she's teaching people how to be better caterers. So she's giving that skill that a lot of caterers don't know how to do. And she would measure to a fault. Yeah. Take this flour, measure to this pound, and this is what it turns into revenue. Yes. Because this girl also used to be a banker.
You see?
So she had the money skill, but new skill. So you know what I'm saying is that I just told her, I said, that is how I started. I said, when I was there, people wanted advice how to do this business, and I started looking at what I had done, the brand, and used to build. So there are many things you can do, you just haven't thought about them. And that's what I'm saying, that, you know, so she had And she was even working while she was doing the catering, and everything went down. So while she was remote, she burned the midnight oil. She was still working in the bank. She burned the midnight and learned structure, pricing, this. And by the time COVID was over, she has a new job.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are still celebrating International Women's Day, brought to you by UBA Ghana Limited and U Lionesses. The theme for this year is embracing equity. What an hour! It's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours, and it feels like it's just 10 minutes. Thank you so much. I don't want to take so much of your time. I just want to take just a wrap up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your final words. I'll start with Auntie Joyce. Your final words, and then we can call it a day.
What I'd love for all of us to embrace beyond equity is to embrace ourselves as women who are capable of reaching beyond the sky with our various skills, our various certificates, our various professional knowledge, and so on. You know, value is very important. Value must come to life. That's part of remaining relevant.
Exactly.
Also, when you can always bring value to something, you remain relevant, because so many things are happening around us. So many of these things happening need structure.
Exactly.
And a lot of you have that skill,
Exactly.
and you can use that. A lot of you are able to actually coach without knowing it.
Yeah.
You know, some of you are also good at encouraging people.
Exactly. Counseling, guidance.
Encouraging people, and we must do that, because right now technology is being used against socialization, proper socialization. Our children and children's children are not able to socialize much. Everybody's on a phone. I went somewhere and a 2-year-old had been given a little tablet, and the little girl was glued to it.
Yeah.
It's good to say it keeps them quiet.
Right, yeah.
But what it's doing is that they wouldn't know how to even relate to other people. You know, these are things that we can begin to do. Some of us are maybe nearing retirement, or maybe not nearing retirement, but love children so much, we may want to go and open creches or kindergartens and so on. Let's think of how we can add more value to life, ours, and to those of others. I think it's called enlightened self-interest.
Yes.
Wow.
Enlightened self-interest.
Self-interest.
You know, so let's add value. Once you add value, you will always remain relevant, and you will carry your brand. You know, remember, your brand has to do with your values. Even if you're changing careers, you ask for your values, you can't change them. Your sense of excellence, you cannot change. Number 2, your sense of professionalism, you cannot change. Number 3, your communication skills, you cannot change, right? And you cannot change the way you carry yourself, your grooming. You can't change those things. You just have to carry them to the next level. So let's add value to ourselves and to the society that we live in. It is critical, very critical, and we are the only ones who can do it.
And we are the only ones who can do that. Thank you. Your final words.
I always like to use something I learned. I learn to always give my final words, and my auntie here has taught me so much. So as we leave here, everything that I've learned from Auntie Joyce, I've put together in my mind in 4 categories, and I want to, every conversation we've had here, and I just want to say that as a young person, mature person, whoever you are watching us, remember that your personal brand is a combination of your story, your skills, your confidence, and your communication. And that is what the world wants to see.
Yes.
Go out there and make that personal brand relevant. Build relationships and reach. Bring your value, that is your revenue. Enlighten interest.
And that's a wrap.
So wow. I agree.
Yes.
So wow.
Thank you so much, Auntie Joyce and Auntie Jugbadi, for, should I say, gracing the occasion, for being here and sharing your life. I mean, there's no amount of money that can pay for what you have given us. You have given us over 4 decades of your life, and you certainly over 2 decades.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that we can. I mean, no, just to be anyway. So
I'm 25 years. So when you
20
say
And I'm
decades,
30.
yes,
I remember I told
I'm
you.
sorry. I apologize. Thank you. So it's been the webinar brought to you by UBA Ghana Limited and Ulioness. It's powered by Ruby. A Ruby account is a woman-centric account and is tailored for discerning women. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, our audience who are in here and those who are on our social media handles on Facebook and YouTube. Remember, you can still have access to this video beyond today. Log on, check it out, and learn from it. There's been so much. Should I use the word impactation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. that poured here. Tap into it even beyond today. Thank you so much, and kudos to
Thank
UBA
our
Ghana
men
Limited.
also. Some of
Yes,
them are
and
very
our men. Thank you, Auntie Joyce,
And the men.
and the men,
Yeah.
Eddie and Harry, and all of you. Thank you so much for being here. You've made it wonderful. You've made it amazing. Thank you. Okay, I think we'll take pictures, right? Okay.
UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Mobile money is everything these days, and whatever network you're on, UBA's Leo provides seamless connection between your accounts and mobile money wallets. Chat with Leo on WhatsApp on 0577 822 822 and on Facebook if you want to move money from your UBA account to your Momo account. It is a simple process. Select Send Money from Leo. Then select to Mobile Wallet